How should someone start their day for success? Clearly, everyone's different. What advice can you give a content creator or a business coach that wants to go from zero to seven figures like you have?
Right. That's a great question, Alan. So the best answer I can give is don't start your day the day of. Your day needs to start the night before. In fact, your day for the next day needs to start during your shutdown ritual from your previous workday. So what I mean by that is, I've taken this principle from the Jewish calendar. The Jewish reckoning of time in Orthodox Judaism is to reckon from sundown to sundown, right? So that's a day. So instead of at midnight we start a new day, it's if the sun goes down at 6 p.m. tonight, that starts the next day, and that goes until the sun goes down the next day. So in productivity and in business, we have to really operate that way, because if we want a good day tomorrow, if we want to be able to get up refreshed, ready to check off those to-do lists, ready to do and know what we're supposed to do, we have to start the night before. And that starts with our shutdown ritual from our business. So I'll give you an example of what I do. When I shut down, I the first thing I do is I go through my messages. I don't check my email all day long until the end of the day, and my clients know that, and people who work with me know that. That way, I don't have open loops throughout the day that distract me from the most important things. So I check my emails first. I do a little triage there of what I need to do. I put down the important stuff on my planner for the next day. If it's a 30-second answer, I shoot off an email real quick. But that's how I start. Then I do one final check of social media and Facebook Messenger, those types of things. And then I plan my day for the next day. After getting information from those sources, then I start to fill in my planner for the next day. And I only put three big items, only three things that are going to move the needle forward. And those things are all about moving the needle forward. The rest of it goes in secondary tasks, and those secondary tasks are absolutely optional. That means that they are not the most important things for my business. Then I do a 30-minute meditation. Now, you and I, we're probably talking to a lot of people who are working from home. So there's a difference between somebody who works in an office and they commute and they've got 20, 30 minutes, maybe an hour to kind of decompress, listen to some music, unwind, so that when they get home, they're in family mode, they're in home mode, right? They're in ready to relax and get ready for the next day mode. For us as entrepreneurs that work out of our home, it's literally like, for me, it's literally walk out of the studio, walk up the stairs, and boom, I'm there. So I get a 30-second commute. So I do a 30-minute meditation. That helps me transition. It helps me to close out the day and helps me to transition to the evening. In doing that, I become ready for the next phase, which is rest and relaxation and rejuvenation. And so then I spend my evening very intentionally. I do things, there's still somewhat of a schedule, somewhat of structure, so that it's not just flop on the chair, turn on Netflix, and then zone out until 2 o'clock in the morning. I have a specific amount of time before my evening ritual to go to bed. I start to go to bed and I have a ritual that helps me to calm down, things like turning off electronics, reading, obviously brushing your teeth and the hygiene things, but also things that help my mind to relax, so that when my head hits the pillow, I'm telling you, Alan, when I go to sleep, it's literally like, if I'm still awake for more than 30 seconds, it's like something's wrong, right?
Really? Well,
So yeah, I mean, I hit the pillow and I'm ready because I go through an hour-long process that helps me to prepare for that. So that, which most people don't think of. Most people don't do that. They watch TV right up to the moment that they go to bed, or they are busy, 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 or they're shooting off emails or social media or something that's keeping them engaged
mm.
right up to the moment of sleep. So here's the other thing that most people don't do. Let me ask you, Alan, do you set an alarm to wake up?
No, because I've got an annoying bird outside that wakes me up at 5 o'clock every
All right.
morning,
So
and
you've
I
got a
hate it.
bird. You're one of the lucky ones. But most people set an alarm. They have a wake up. They know, man, I got to wake up tomorrow at 6 a.m. or I got to wake up at 5 a.m. I got to wake up. What they don't think about is setting a bedtime.
Mm,
They'll watch TV till midnight and know that they got to get up at 6. Well, then they're only getting 6 hours of sleep. So it's so important to get that amount of sleep. If you get 6 hours or less of sleep each day, after 2 days of that, you begin to operate as though you're legally drunk.
mm,
Would you want to operate in your business plastered? I don't think anybody would. Science has proven that.
mm,
So you need seven, a minimum of seven. The human body needs a minimum of seven, anywhere up to a maximum. And yes, there is a maximum because you can sleep too much, a
mm,
maximum of not 9 hours. So you need to figure that out. And then you need to set, for me, I have to be in bed. I have to be asleep, not in just in bed. Because again, there's a difference, right? There's being in bed and then
mm,
actually being asleep. I have to be asleep by 9:30 so that I can get 8 hours and wake up at 5:30. And I wake up feeling refreshed. I also use a sunrise alarm clock so that I don't have harsh noises jolting me awake. But that's where it's important for your productivity to start the night before. And again, part of my
mm,
shutdown routine is planning for the next day. It is thinking about that prior to going to sleep. Part of my evening ritual is to meditate for about 5 minutes and visualize the tasks that I have to do the next day. I do this right before going to bed because your brain's actually more active while you're asleep than it is while you're awake most times. And it's processing information that you've given it. And if you give it that information, it'll take what you have to do. It'll literally work the problem out while you sleep so that when you wake up, you're ready to go. You're ready to
mm.
jump in and get to the problem. So
Yeah.
that's the way. And then the next morning, you wake up. I have a morning routine that sets me up. It includes meditation, a personal devotional, some prayer and scripture study, and time with my family. And then I have a workday startup, which again transitions me so that I'm not still lagging back in the family time. I'm at business time. I don't have that commute to get in to the zone, right? So I
Mm,
take about
mm,
30 minutes to get into the zone. And that's reviewing my day. That's again about a five. I do about a 5 minute meditation. I review my day, what I have coming up. I visualize myself accomplishing those goals. I add anything to my planner that needs to, or make adjustments to my planner, and then I get started. And so that's a long answer to your question, but that's what it's a long process. Unfortunately, entrepreneurs think they can just jump into the day, and you can't. You really
mm.
can't. Your brain needs all of these steps so that you can be the most productive, especially if you work from home.